this is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. Today is day 2 of our 24 days of tutorials Advent event for La La Land Crafts. I am starting with 12 days on our YouTube channel, and then our design team is going to join in from day 13 through the 24th on our blog. Yesterday, if you have joined us yesterday, thank you so much. You saw this card already. For those of you who are just now starting to watch our videos, this is the card that we made yesterday. This is the diorama card, kind of white on white with a little bit of the color. I'm going to pop the link in the video description below, so make sure to look it up and watch the tutorial. It's a really fun card to make. During our event, we are giving away 3 $50 gift certificates to our online store. And to enter, we ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on the videos on the YouTube channel for the first 12 days. And then for the next 12 days, comment on the blog on the tutorials from our design team. And also we have a sale during this event. It's a 20% off with coupon code ADVENT2022. And it's valid on all of the La La Land Crafts products in our line store at lalalandcrafts.com. And let me show you what we are making today. Today we're going to make another diorama card, but this is more like a box diorama card that you can display like so, but you can also fold it to mail it. And it's a fun card that features a lot of our different dies, and also I'm using, as you can see, I'm using the same tree as we used yesterday, the Christmas tree with trimmings. I love this die. I know I'm gonna use it for years to come. And then we have everything embellished on the front, on the inside, on the sides, and on the back. I can't wait to show you how I made it. Let's go ahead and start with the tutorial. This card has quite a few elements to it. We're going to start with the card base. I have 2 white layers here, and they measure 8.5 by 5.5. So basically, I cut the 8.5 by 11 in half at 5.5, and that gave me both pieces for our card base. We are going to score it. We're going to score both layers at 1.5 on each side. So 1.5 here. I'm going to turn it, score it at 1.5 again here. And the same on my second layer. 1.5 and 1.5. I'm going to use the double stitched squares die. This is the largest die from the set. It comes as a set of 4 sizes, and it has the stitching, as you can see, on the inside and on the outside. And I'm going to do my best to center it between my score lines, and then I'm going to die cut it. And once I die cut it, it gives me the window for our card, and it also gives me this square with the stitching. As you can see, the stitching is on both sides. I'm not going to use this square on the card we're making today, but it definitely can be used on something else. So I'm just going to put it aside for later. Next thing, I have layers of the printed papers, designers from the paper pack. I have one of this from Here Comes Santa's paper pack, and it's this design right here. I didn't pre-cut it because I actually wanted to show you the best way to cut the paper for this card. The layer that we need for this is 5 by 5. So I'm going to put it, and this paper is not directional, so it doesn't matter which way you're putting it in. So I'm going to put it in at cut at 5. And then again at 5 to make a 5 by 5 layer. Now these pieces that you have left from cutting, they're 1 inch wide, and I have one already at 5 inches. And then I'm going to cut the second strip that I have left to 5 inches. So then we have 2 of them at 1 by 5. And I already did the 2 layers, cut the 2 layers at 5 by 5. and these are from Love You More paper pack. It's this paper right here. I just love with our papers how you can kind of mix and match. We're making the Christmas card today, but this paper is kind of spring colors, so but we can still use it. So I have this already cut, and I already have the 2 layers cut the same way from this paper. The next ones I have here are the red cardstock, and these are 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I have 2 of these layers. Forgot to mention, all of the dimensions are in the video description, so really you don't have to write down as you go along. You can always just copy and paste, copy from there and paste it like in the Word document or something for you to print for your reference, or just look at the video description as you are cutting for it. So first we're going to use 2 of these layers, the red and this paper with these pretty snowflakes, and we're going to use the same die, double stitched rectangles. I am not gluing them together just yet. I'm just aligning them the way they are going to be on the card, and then we are going to die cut the same square from the center of these layers. And once you have this cut, again, we're going to get a frame, so the opening for our window right here, and we have 2 of our layers, and we also have these squares here. The red one we are going to use on the back of the card. This layer we are not using on this card, so again, just like the white one, I'm going to save it for later because it's nice and pretty and it has the stitching around it. The next thing that we need to die cut is the layer of gold cardstock, and this one measures 4 by 4. And I use the inverted scallop squares die, and this die comes as a set of 3 dies, and it coordinates with our double stitch squares and any other squares that we have. We're gonna use this layer with the red one for later for the back of the card, so this can go just to the side for now, and we're gonna keep this frame here. We're going to glue these 3 layers together with this in front and the gold one from the back. Next, our card base with the opening here, and we're going to glue this layer over the opening. Now let's finish the sides of this layer. So I have our pattern paper layers that measure 1 by 5, and I have 2 layers of red cardstock here that measure 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. We can glue this together and then on the sides of our base. Next is the sentiment, and I have this label that was cut with the book tab and labels die. I just adore this die. This was actually one of our first ever dies when we started adding dies to our product range, but I am so in love with it. I can't retire. I don't have the heart for it. So this little label was die cut from there, and we are going to cut it apart in half. And then I have the oval that was die cut with the double stitched ovals die. This is the smallest die from the set, and the sentiment was stamped with archival ink in jet black, and this sentiment is from Warm Holidays stamp set. It's this one right here, Celebrate the Season. We are going to align it kind of like this. So this is the reason we cut it apart, and glue it on. Now I'm going to make the holes right here where the openings are in the die. And I already put the breadth through there, so you can see nice and festive. We're gonna go ahead and put this layer to the side for now, and we are going to start working on the inside of our card. So this is our 8.5 by 5.5 layer that we scored at 1.5 on each side. So we're going to burnish on each side here. And we're going to start adding everything on the inside. So I have one of my 5.25 by 5.25 layer, and then this paper right here that goes on the inside. So I can go ahead and glue them together and I already added the sides as well, and those are the red cardstock 5.25 by 1.25, and the paper is 5 by 1, and these are on the inside. I have another layer of red cardstock and another layer of the same paper. I'm going to glue them on the back of the card. I just love how this paper, the reason I chose this paper, this design, because it kind of reminds me of the wallpaper, and since we are building this scene with Marcy like a room, I thought it worked quite well. So this is on the back, and since we have it turned here, let's grab our gold cutout and the red square that was cut out, and then I have white layer of cardstock here, and this one measures 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. I'm actually going to do a quick frame all the way around it. You know how I like doing that. And it just adds another pretty detail. We are going to glue these 3 layers together. Look how pretty that looks. And then right on the back of the card, and this will be the space where you would write the sentiment. I just love the red, the blue, the white together for Christmas. It's just so crisp and fresh and festive. I just adore it. Okay, so now back to the inside of our card. I have a door die cut with our tall door die. I die cut it from white cardstock, and we are going to position it about 1/2 inch from the top and 1/2 inch from the left side. And I'm going to put these pieces back once I glue the frame on. I'm going to insert these pieces back into the frame. I didn't keep the pieces from the top, from the door, for this card, but sometimes if I use like gold cardstock and put them back in, it looks really pretty, like the lights are shining. But right now we are making this so it looks like the door from the inside of the house, so not from the outside. So I didn't want to put the lights on there, and also we're going to cover most of it with the wreath, so it didn't really matter. I didn't even put the white pieces in. So the frame goes right over the door, just adds another detail there. And now for the wreath, and this die is called wreath with bow. I die cut it from 2 different colors of the green cardstock, darker and lighter, and the bow from the red cardstock. I'm going to have my darker one on the bottom and glue the lighter green one on top and offset it a little bit, and that just gives more of the depth in dimension. Kind of looks fuller, fluffier, pretty. And now we can go ahead and attach it to our door. So as you can see, it kind of covers most of that opening on the top of the door there. And you know, it might be odd that we're putting the wreaths indoors, inside of the house, but I actually started doing that because we don't have many neighbors like at our lake house, so I put the wreath on the inside so we can enjoy it ourselves. Okay, so once we have this done, the next thing I have the white cardstock cut at 7 inches by 1 1/4, and we are going to score it at 3/4 of an inch on each side, so 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch here. So this is our layer that would go right there. Before we attach it, I have more of the red and the paper here. So the red cardstock, the red layer measures 5 1/4 by 1, and the printed paper measures 5 by 3/4 of an inch. And this paper is also from the same paper pack. No, actually it's not from the same paper pack. I'll have to look to see. I think this is from Say It With Flowers. Yep. So as I said, all of the links are in the video description to all of the products, and don't forget that you get 20% off with coupon code Advent 2022, and the coupon code is valid until December 25th. I chose this paper because it looks kind of like floor. It has, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it has a little bit of the wood grain there. So kind of just trying to build a little house there for our Marcy. And then this layer goes right in between the score lines there. Then we can get our score tape, or the double-sided tape that you are going to use, and we are going to put it, I'm going to put 2 of them on each of these flaps. So one a little closer to the fold and one closer to the outside. And then we're going to attach it right to the bottom of our card. And we're attaching it to our flap. So the easiest way to do it is to line up to the fold and then remove the backing. And I'm making sure that I'm the same level here on the bottom, and then we're going to close this just like that, and then we are going to fold the whole thing to the other side. So I'm going to open this flap now and remove the backing from this side and close this flap. And now we have our step there to put other elements on. Very easy. Next I have Christmas tree with trimmings. I die cut it once from green cardstock and once from gold cardstock, and then on the layer with the green I used this die that comes in the same set, and I put it down and ran it through my die cutting machine, and that gave me these openings, the openings for the Christmas ornaments, the stars, the Christmas bubbles, and then we have like a garland going all the way there. So I can go ahead and glue 2 of these together. Nice and shiny, really pretty. When we attach our tree, we're going to put it somewhere kind of like in the center, but we're going to pull it to the left just a little bit. Let me see if I can measure it for you. So about 1 1/4 from this side, because we want the room for our Marcy to stand there. And we're going to glue it kind of like this whole area where the bottom branches are in the trunk. Make sure it's stable inside of our card, because we're not going to have any support for it on the top of it. So about right here, so we can still see the door behind it. Looks very pretty, and this actually is stable enough that the die doesn't go down. And then I already have my Marcy stamped, colored, and cut out, and she is the Decorating Marcy rubber stamp, one of the newer stamps that we have. So she's going to be right here, but let's see first how we're going to position the presents. I have a bunch of presents here that I die cut from gold cardstock and from the paper, and this is done with our 3 presents die. And I die cut them from 3 different designs, as you can see here, so I can do the mix and match kind of thing. And all of these papers are from Here Comes Santa paper pack, the same paper as we're using on the front of the card. The reason I die cut from gold cardstock because I want to use the bow and the ribbon to add to the ones that I cut from the paper. I decided to use 3 of this on the front of the card and 2 of this on the back of the card to add another embellishment there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the gold layers onto my presents. I'm actually going to go ahead and glue my Marcy on because the presents are going to be just on the left side. So I just want to see how we're going to see her in the window there. I'm going to add the glue behind Marcy's feet and part like the legs here, and then on her, just pretty much on this side right there. That's where she is going to be attached to the tree, so everything is stable on our card. Okay, looks good. Now let's arrange our presents. So the inside is finished, and this just come. I just love how it comes together. So let's get back to the front layer. I have a layer of acetate that we didn't attach yet. I just didn't want to put it in the beginning because, you know, everything kind of gets stuck to it. So this layer measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and we are going to put it from the back right here. See, it just wants to attract everything. I'm probably gonna use my score tape. Now we're going to attach the tape on the flaps on the inside, and I'm going to do one closer to the fold and one closer to the outside. And actually, maybe I'll do one in the center too, since it's quite wide layer. So if you have a 1/2 inch tape, you can use just 2 of those. I'm continuing with my 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna add 3 here. And now we are ready to attach this to connect our layers together. So make sure it's not upside down. You have your sentiment on the bottom, and we are going to turn it to the back. We're going to, so you're going to fold this whole thing to the right side, so it's flat with the flap exposed, and then we're going to align it so our top and bottom are straight, and this layer goes right to the fold right there. We're going to remove the backing from the paper and close this fold down. Then we're going to move the whole thing to the other side, so I'm just folding it on this fold here, and it should line up with your other fold there. Remove the backing and close. And that gives us our kind of like box diorama card here with the display inside. So we have Marcy decorating the tree at home, and then we have the outside area. So this paper definitely looks like the wallpaper on the inside, and then we have it carried over to the sides there. So when you look inside of it, you can see all of the pretty details, you can see the presents there. So when you're displaying it, you can definitely see everything, but yet you can ship it, you can fold it and ship it flat like this. Okay, I'm getting all excited now. There is another thing that we are going to add here to the front of our diorama box. I have die cut from our layered poinsettia. I die cut the poinsettia from red cardstock, and then I have the little center from the gold. I'm going to glue them together. And I'm not worried about how I am positioning the petals, or actually I think they're all leaves on poinsettia. They're just different color. They're just green on the bottom and then red on the top. I didn't die cut the layer from green. We're taking artistic license here, but I'm just gluing them randomly, just offsetting them. And it looks good whichever way you're gonna glue it. One thing I wanted to mention, that this die has the embossed lines, and it also has this opening that if you cut it, depending on what kind of cardstock you're using, if the cardstock is soft, it will just do all of the embossing at the same time if you use enough pressure, or if not, you'll have to do the second step. So you'll die cut it first and then you'll emboss it. And then this little gold piece just makes it really festive to go with the rest of our card. So that goes on the center right here. And then the other thing I have die cut already is the pine needles, and it comes as a set of 2. I die cut 2 sets, and we are going to layer them. When you look at the die, you'll notice that there's one of the shapes is a little wider and another one is narrower. So the way I like to align them is to use the wider one on the bottom, and when you align the stems right there, it just creates a really nice kind of full branch. Of course you can use them separately as well. It looks really good also, but this is the way I prefer. So just a little bit of the glue on the stem right here. And now we can arrange it on the top right corner. And I think this finishes the card nicely, and it also balances out our wreath there on the door. And the last thing we're going to add to our card is the street lamp. And this lamp was die cut. This is also one of our newer dies, called the street lamp. And as you can see, it comes as a set of 3 dies. We have the pole here, and then we have the lamps that are positioned different ways, so they mirror each other. I die cut the base, and then I die cut the one that goes facing the right way. And I just want to show you that this die is actually very versatile, so you can do it like this with one of the lamps. You can use the other one and put it on the other side. So sometimes, you know how we're making the cards and design calls for one way or another. And of course you can use it as one with the 2 lamps like this, very pretty. But you can also use these lamps dies separately. They don't have to be on the pole at all. You can just use them as the lanterns like this, so that adds to the versatility of this die. I already added the gold pieces on the inside, so kind of like the light is shining through, and I attached this layer there. And we can go ahead and glue this on, and it finishes just kind of I just feel like it finishes the card so nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on. I die cut this from 110-pound craft cardstock, so it has nice kind of thick feel like embellishments versus just from the thinner cardstock. So I'm going to put it somewhere just right here and glue it on. Be careful with the acetate, don't do like I did. Be really careful when you put the glue on the bottom, on the piece that attaches there. So it dries clear, so I'm going to try to kind of clean it a little bit, but it's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be okay. And the last thing that we have left is to add our two peasants here on the back of our card, just to finish this off. I hope you're liking these tutorials. I always try to design something new we haven't done before, or to use some different techniques or ideas, design ideas for you all. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you creating as well. If you are, I would love to see, we always love to see what you are making. So make sure to share it in our Facebook group or on Instagram. If you are posting something, please make sure to tag us so I can take a look. So this is the back of our card. As I said, there's plenty of room for you here to write the sentiment. Okay, so that completes our card. I hope you like it, and I really love this kind of 3D scene that we created with our Marcy. We're looking from the outside in, and she's so cute there decorating the tree. Hope you can see it on the video, just how pretty it is, and you can feel all of the dimension. When you're holding it in real life, it might be a little bit dark on the video, but it's really, really, really beautiful card. I love how it turned out. It displays nicely, and then you can fold it flat for mailing. We have it all finished in front and on the back. I just love it. So don't forget that we have $50 giveaway, 3 $50 giveaways, and we ask you to comment, and we'll draw the winner on the 25th. And don't forget about your coupon code. It's valid until December 25th. It's 20% off with the coupon code Advent 2022. I hope you like this card, and I can't wait to see what you all are going to make using these ideas. And even if it's not the same but something different, I would love to see it. So please make sure to post in our Facebook group, or if you are posting on Instagram, make sure to tag La La Land Craft so I can go and look at it. And I guess that is all for me for today, and I can't wait to show you what we have for you for day 3. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. Much love.